Day before yesterday, somebody walked into a mosque and fired the bullets on over 100 people, injuring about 50 and killing 49. Do you know that? Anybody in the world who does not know it? Everybody in the world knows it. Through a program this evening, over the next 1 year, 11,11,111 people will get fed at least one meal. Everybody in Chennai knows it. They don't know it. So what is happening in this world? Bad is making noise. Good is remaining quiet. So what has been the net effect of the entire thing? That we think we live in a bad world. We think we live in a wrong world. If next 3 Sundays, I organize some sort of a protest against anything, will the entire media attention turn towards me? Will I become nationally famous? Absolutely, no question about it. Only 3 Sunday protests is required. The whole country will come to know about me. Or I have to get into some very bad scandal. The whole country will come to know about it. Into the 25th year, every Sunday morning, somebody is contributing to the collective growth of human consciousness. People in Chennai, people in the street know me? They don't know me. Why? Bad keeps making noise. Good does not. So what is our conclusion as a result? We live in a bad world. Good should start making noise. For the simple reason, it will motivate a lot more people to do good. Good should make noise. Because it will help a lot of other people to know we actually live in a good world. Good should make noise. Because media will not do it. We only have to do it. As simple as talking about a small mental adjustment. If all of you sitting here make that one decision, anything wrong and negative that comes to my social media, I am not going to broadcast it, I am not going to forward it. Anything right and good that comes into my social media, I am going to forward it and broadcast it to as many people as possible. The effect of it in about 3 months' time will be phenomenal. Phenomenal. I get something wrong and negative, I am not going to broadcast it to everybody, but anything good and right that comes to me, I am going to spread it to everybody. Anything that wrong comes to me, it ends with me. Anything right that comes to me, it will begin with me. I will ensure it spread everywhere. It has to. Good should make noise. But we don't know that. It never happens. Because everything is kept as a cold constraint. Everything is kept inside. This is one part. From a business perspective, if a good doctor does not keep telling the world enough that I am a good doctor, and a bad doctor keep telling the world that I am a good doctor, this world is driven by perception, not by reality. There is no reality, there is only perceived reality. Good doctor is keeping quiet, and the good doctor is keeping quiet because he knows he is a good doctor, he doesn't have to tell the world. But the bad doctor has a very good brand agency, and the good brand agency is telling everybody in the world that, you know, I am a good doctor, I am a good doctor. Where do you think the crowd is going to go? The crowd is obviously going to go to the bad doctor because the perception created in the world is the bad doctor is a good doctor. Is it going to do good to the world? Because everybody is going to go to the bad doctor and suffer in the entire process. So it's very important that good should make noise. One, it's very important that a good doctor has to get aggressive and tell the world that he is a good doctor. 3, If you are selling a good product or service, you have the moral responsibility to be aggressive and sell more of it. Because if you don't sell enough of good stuff in the world outside, the world is going to go and buy the wrong stuff. It's going to go and buy the wrong stuff. Just from a spirituality angle, think about it. People have gone and embraced paths, gurus, only to realize later there is a sex scandal there, there's murder there, there is financial swindling there, the people buried there, people have been asked to renounce their families and come and settle in there. And somewhere I keep living my entire life thinking he is everything, he is everything, he is everything. And one day when I realize that I have been following somebody who is a characterless rogue, do you realize the shake of faith gets shaken up? What have you done to the whole thing? Today you go and tell, in fact every time I do a program, I tell them, today if you go and tell the world I work for a corporate, there are chances that you will be respected. Today you go and tell the world that I am a spiritual teacher, they will think, in a scandal. What scandal are you involved in? Go and just type guru in Google. The first 10 pages of everything you see will be about scandal, not about anything good or right that has happened in the world. One of you keep building proper material, no exploitation of customers, you always hand over your projects in time, quality material is used, it's all architectural design, but you don't want to tell the world that you are a very good builder. What happens? I know the number of people in Chennai, forget about other places, in Chennai I can tell you, I know people who have given their entire money and taken keys of their project 8 years later from the date that was committed. 8 years later. A middle class family not only invests everything they have already earned, everything they expect to earn in the next 20 years also is invested when they buy. And if you don't give them delivery of what you have promised for another 8 years, a delayed delivery of 8 years, which means they have to pay their EMI, they also have to service their rent. Double burden. How do they go through this? In 8 years. What if my entire ambition was to buy my own house and have my parents live there at least for a few years? They should have the satisfaction. I wanted my mother to die in my own house and not in a rented house, and that's why I bought. 8 years you delay, and then meanwhile my mother has died in a rented house. Now suddenly when I go to the house, it's not even achieved its purpose. The original purpose is lost. And out of 100 builders, 90 builders are like that. There are only 10 builders who deliver projects on time, who live up to the promises they claimed in that entire brochure. Only 10 of the builders. And these 10 builders, suppose they don't make noise, then the market is going to go to those 90 builders and get cheated and exploited in the entire process. I have somebody here who transports people holding the highest safety norms. Whatever he does, he wants to hold it to the highest safety norms. Which means if I tomorrow send my child in his bus to school or send my sister in his bus to office, I know they are secure because highest safety norms is adopted. And if he is not going to aggressive and tell everybody else, then people are going to go and travel in other modes of transport, and then you are going to get somebody has been molested, somebody has been raped, somebody has been kidnapped. I know somebody sitting here, unadulterated, cold pressed, purest form of oil, generated, taking overall welfare, everything into consideration. He chooses not to be aggressive. And people who give adulterated stuff and other things, they are very aggressive. What are you doing? You are letting the entire world consume some stuff which is not right. See, as long as bad continues to be aggressive and good continues to be passive, you are allowing bad to win. You are allowing wrong to win. This is not just to you. If you are the best dance teacher in the world, then every dance aspirant should somehow learn dance from you. If you maintaining the same weight and the same body for such a long time, it's not basically a genetical accident, but it's a choice by which you are able to do this, then everybody wants to be taking care of the health and you should be doing enough. There is no point in you just coming and introducing yourself here as what? Genesis Praveen, and nobody else knows anything about what you do. Then you're doing human injustice, absolute human injustice. This is to each one of you sitting here. If you're selling a product or service which is the best, you have the moral responsibility to be aggressive. If you are representing a product or service which is the best, then you have to wipe the competition market share, and the entire market share has to come to you. Not for business reasons, for moral reasons it has to come to you. The world has to go to the good doctor and their lives must be saved. The world has to study in the best of the schools. The world has to hire the best of the technology services that is available. The world has to buy its infrastructure from the best creators. The world must buy its provisions and whatever it is from the best stores that is available. The world has to always go to the best. And every one of you, if you think you represent the best, you have the moral responsibility to be absolutely aggressive. You have to have the highest market share. If bad is winning in the world, that's not because of bad. Bad is winning in the world because good is not aggressive. Good has to be aggressive. If we cannot even prove to the world a terrorist is a terrorist, what sort of a world are we living in? An inquiry commission on fund deployment on Mother Teresa, and we are not ready to accept a terrorist who says that I was responsible, my organization, and we are not ready to accept a terrorist organization who claims that I am a terrorist as a terrorist, and we want to do. What sort of a world are we living in? This is not just to you. You have to be a doctor or entrepreneur, not just a doctor. And the best of healthcare services must be rendered to the place. Two of you have to become the number one in your area of specialization. The entire city of Bangalore, anything to do with the dental needs, they have to come to you. The whole world has to converge for its technology requirements to you. The next generation of parents, the next generation of work ethic in the corporate, the next generation of children in the world has to come through you. If what I deliver to the market is going to give them health, then the entire world has to consume its products and services only from you. Not for business reasons, for moral reasons, you have to be the number one in your industry. If the safest mode of transportation, sending my loved ones in your vehicle, is the safest way for me to transport my loved ones, then this entire city should travel through you. If every man who invests 1 rupee with you is going to take at least 1 rupee 20 paise from you, the credibility that is money is more safe with you than even with RBI, and ROI is assured, then the entire world should invest their sweated money on you, and you will have to give back the world the highest ROI that you are capable of giving. If one child can gravitate from not interested in studies to coming within the top few ranks of a school, and if this is what one school can achieve, then I want every child in this country to be studying in your administration. You have to be the educationalists of the rest of the world. With absolutely no religious labels. The only conversion that happens is that you are always made a better human being, a better version of yourself, a better businessman, a better father, a better mother, a better husband, a better wife, a better sibling, a better citizen, a better human being, and that's all. If the purity of a teacher cannot be questioned, And there is absolutely no boxing, no discrimination, man, woman, in the name of religion, sex, nothing. And if we can impose our faith in something, and that faith, roots of faith is never going to be shaken, then this path has to be aggressive enough to ensure that every breathing person finally finds their beautiful world for them to live. It has to be aggressive, no question about it. Not for financial reasons, not for business reasons, not for commercial reasons. All that is a byproduct. Simply put, if what is coming from you is the best within your industry, then you have the moral responsibility to be the number one, to have the highest market share of whatever you do, whatever you represent. You're just protecting the world by doing this so that they don't land up in wrong hands. People are going to the wrong doctor because the good doctor is not aggressive. People are going to wrong builders, but because the good builders are not aggressive. People are losing money by making wrong investments because where money is credible is not being aggressive. People are embracing wrong forms of health and fitness because people who have the right idea of health and fitness are not being aggressive about it. People are getting misled in the name of spirituality because the right spiritual masters are not being aggressive about it. Because today, in the name of spirituality, everything has become politics. Or everything has become colored with religion. Fanatical. In fact, the best leader amongst you one day should be a prime minister or a chief minister, so that you can hold the most powerful position and lead the world in the right direction. You have to be aggressive. Bhagavad Gita is not 18 chapters and 702 verses. The essence of Bhagavad Gita is what is right should win at all cost. That's Bhagavad Gita. It's not about whether you want the kingdom or not. It's not about who needs the kingdom, who doesn't need the kingdom. But Arjuna, wrong cannot win. That's not good for the world. That's not good for generations to come. Right has to win. Right has to be aggressive. In fact, in the Vedic tradition, a lot of people ask this. He's a good person, he's a bad person. The beauty of the depth of Vedas is, in the Vedic tradition, they do not classify people as good and bad. That is secondary classification. You know what is primary classification? Aggressive or passive. Whether you're good or bad comes later. The primary classification in Vedas itself, it says, if you can be Duryodhana, be Duryodhana. If you can be Arjuna, be Arjuna. Don't be one useless fellow. Rama has a place in history. Ravana has a place in history. Being another monkey has no place in the history. You got to be aggressive. Hitler has a place in history. Gandhi has a place in history. Not one some useless another soldier in the world outside. If you are a chaiwala, nobody will come to know you. If you become Narendra Modi, the whole world will come to know about you. If you are sitting there in the bench all the time, you can be called by whatever name you want to be called. Nobody will come to know about it. If you have decided to play the sport, you have to be Virat Kohli. You have decided to play the sport, you must be Messi or Ronaldo. You have decided to act. Don't do 800 movies as a sister. Do at least 5 movies as a heroine and the world will come to know about it. The Vedas, I am not saying, the Vedas is saying, the primary classification of people is aggressive and passive. And passive people do not have a right to expect anything from life, even if you are good. First you have to be aggressive. Then it classifies. Assuming you have taken the aggressive route, now there are aggressively good people and aggressively bad people. Aggressively good people not only produce results in life, their peace is intact and everybody around them will be peaceful. Aggressively bad, you will produce results in life, but you will never know peace in life and nobody around you will ever be peaceful in life. So you should choose aggressive good over aggressive bad, but Veda says it's better to be aggressive bad rather than being passive good. So the categorization in Vedas is aggressive good, aggressive bad, passive good, passive bad. Not good or bad. That's a secondary classification. So there is no question about it. Each one of us have been gifted a special talent. And you have to be worthy of it. Each one of you have been gifted a special skill. You have to be worthy of it. You're a good singer, you must be the greatest singer. You're a good dancer, you must be the greatest dancer. You're capable of making money, you should make money like nobody has made money. You're a natural leader, you have to be the best leader. There's no question about it. So this is not just to him, to all of you sitting here. If you think your product or service is not cheating the market, there is no compromise in that. It offers excellence, it's value for money. It's the best in the category that is available. It's better than the rest. You have the moral responsibility to be aggressive. You got to be the number one.